The River Tweed's 2,000 miles of waterways and tributaries run from the hills deep in the Scottish borders to the sea at Berwick Tweed. Here, salmon fishing is big business to the landowners, who charge wealthy businessmen incredible amounts of money to fish on their stretches of the river. The local fishermen, whose economy used to depend on commercial salmon fishing, have now had their rights removed. Keith Hall is a professional salmon poacher, one of a handful left operating on the River Tweed using the traditional method of cobble and net. He can take up to 40,000 fish a year, despite the threat of imprisonment and hefty fines.
The River Tweed's classed as one of the prime salmon rivers in Scotland. To fish the River Tweed for salmon in a prime beat is a status symbol to end all status symbols for your average salmon angler. But you've got to remember, your average salmon angler is very, very wealthy. And there's very little chance of the ordinary man fishing on the likes of the Junction or Flaw's Castle or Burgem at the prime time of the year. You go up the River Tweed at the height of the rod fishings, and you'll see Rolls Royces, Range Rovers, and thousands of pounds worth of motor vehicles parked in cars, and thousands of pounds worth of barber jackets and fishing rods parading about the riverside.
It's mainly trout up here. There's very few salmon get up here, because there's a cove further down and they don't get past it.
Right. You're not allowed to take the salmon anyway?
No. No, you're not allowed to take them. You must put them back. Well.
What happens if you keep them?
Well, if you're caught, you get fined, you know, and you will get your license, your fishing permit revoked, and you wouldn't be allowed back on the river. In these days, you pay, if you want a good day's salmon fishing, you pay about £500 a day. I never fish for salmon because it's too expensive. I suppose if I could afford it, I would do that as well, because I like fishing.
Poaching's been serious on the Tweed now for, commercial poaching's been serious for the last 15 years. Serious poaching, not like the old days when you had somebody taking out the creek, you know, something like that. This is commercial poaching with hang nets.
Well, I don't like poachers at all, because they're just doing it for gain, where the ordinary fisherman, he's doing it for sport, you know.
It's purely money, it's investment. It's not a sport, it's only a sport to the end user, the guy that's paying the money to stand with his fishing rod. The rest of them, it's a big money business. That's the reason that it's so well protected. Poaching is something that you pick up as you go along, and you start off in a little way, and if that's what you're interested in, it's what you want to do, you progress through there. And I started, I was 14, it was better than living papers. I was a lot younger then, and a lot more naive. In them days I thought it was just like a game of hide and seek in them days, but it's them that changed the rules, not me. It's different now. Drift netting used to take place around the Scottish coasts. It was all just done by small boats. It wasn't what you would call highly organised, and it wasn't miles and miles of nets. But that got stamped out. I had helicopters and minesweepers, and you know, it's unbelievable. Here 10 years ago, it was nothing. If I see 2 minesweepers spend the whole summer going up and down here chasing little fishing boats off the sea. You know, just because you were catching salmon. And they were sent here to stamp it out, and that's what they done. Once again, so that the fish can go up the rivers and be caught by the earls, dukes and lords and their minions. Once again, the little guy had to suffer at the hands of the big man. What's poaching costing us? Well, 6 months in jail for a start. A fishing boat for a second. And approximately £14,000 in fines. Well, it's cost a fair bit. You're going to get anything for nothing. I've been caught probably 17 or 18 times in the last 25, 26 years. Now, so it sounds like I'm getting caught almost once a year. Some people may think, well, oh, that's an awful lot of times, you're getting caught quite regular. But you've got to remember, as in the space of a year, you're maybe breaking the salmon fishing laws 250 times. So when you look at it that way, you can see that really the odds are stacked in my favour. To me, they seem awfully foolish people. The only thing I can say is they must have more money than sense. They can afford to pay that kind of money to stand and lash your water to death for your fishing rod. I could go to any stretch of the River Tweed. Let's just say, for speaking sake, the Junction, one of the prime salmon pools on the river. Now, in the back end, like so let's say it's October, September, I could go there, drag the pool in, and let's say I'll take 30 fish. Now, if I don't leave any mess on the river bank, nobody knows that I've taken them 30 fish. I'm away, I've got 30 fish back home by the time the gilly and the angler comes down in the morning. So he doesn't know that he's lost 30 fish. It's not as if he's gone to his house and discovered he's lost his grandfather clock or his roll top desk. I've not stolen anything from them. All I've done is taken the fish out of that pool. Now chances are them fish wouldn't be in that pool the next day anyways. They would have shifted up to the beat beyond. So I think the thing's awfully harsh for what I do. But that's my opinion. I have no doubt there'll be a whole lot of different opinions. Well, I can't see how anybody can possibly own a wild fish. I mean, even the law accepts it, they don't own it. Otherwise it would be theft and no poaching.
There's private parts, such as the other side there where that boat is. You can't go across there because it's private water. You can only fish on this side. But other parts you can fish on both sides.
So now, we have a problem with this fish. If this fish swims on the left bank, he belongs to the man that owns the left bank of the river. If he crosses over onto the right bank, he belongs to the man that owns the right bank. Well, I'm not very sure what happens to this fish when he's halfway across the line. He then has two owners. And that continues the whole way up the river.
It is crazy because, well, I mean, the river belongs to nobody. It's flowing there, but that's the laws of the land, so.
I think I'm entitled to take my share of salmon as anybody else is. Lived on the banks of the River Tweed, in the vicinity of the River Tweed all my life. My mother's people and my father's people have lived on the banks of the River Tweed for hundreds of years. So I consider the River Tweed to be as much my river as any lord, duke or earl who's happened to be fortunate enough, either through birth or through coming up with money for God knows where, to come and buy a piece and say, this is mine.
Right. So you own this bit of land, I take it?
Yes.
Yes.
That's good,
yeah.
Right.
Right.
And you know, my interest is in preserving public access around here, so I'm a bit nervous about some things that do happen around here. Right, you were going to tell me who you were.
Right. Yes.
I go straight to the Tweed Commissioners and tell them what you do.
Does he know you?
It's John Home Roberts that owns this place.
Do you actually get poaching along here and from the...
I haven't got a clue.
Really?
I dare say it's quite likely. I don't know, I think most of the rivers poach.
There's no law trespass in Scotland anyway. Easy be the best that you'll get.
Yeah.
As far as salmon fishing's concerned. There again, you just phoned somebody that took your name and address for standing on a public right away.
Yeah.
So, he's no better as any of the rest of them, really.
Yeah.
You were down here on a Sunday afternoon on the side of the River Tweed. You come up an old coaching road to get here. And you've got somebody doing taking your name and address. I want to know what you're doing. Where does it stop like? Well, you know, I mean, what the fuck happens next?
Yeah.
Fuck, this is the 20th century, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's just minor aggravation. You can see what we're up against. Still, I suppose. That's why we go in the dark, you see. Right. This will do here, eh? At least the fucking rain stopped anyway. Well, I suppose we'll fire her in, eh? See what's what. Bring that down here. Aye. Okie doke. Righto. You'll see when you put the net into here, instead of being pulled tight by the current and pushed away down, it stands in the slack with the off end of it just in the current. And any fish that's leading up the bank side and looking for a quiet place to rest, I'll come into here. But they'll not go out again because we'll catch them. Christ, Lord. Somebody coming down the other side. See, where the fuck's he gone? I'd say it's a gilly coming to check his butt. Keep an eye on him, George. He wants to haul this gear out.
Aye, okay. I'm going to pull this dinghy up into the water now.
Righto. Keep the light off that camera. I think we've got problems.
Aye, he's got to get away, I think. I can't move him now anyway. Stop moving away, I'll see me.
You definitely can't move the fucking mountain, that's for sure. And I'm lying on a fucking thistle. It's not a jeep. It's a heavy motor, but I would say what he's doing. I would say it's somebody the other gilly or somebody doing to make sure the boat is alright or check the spade. See if you can get a look at him as he goes past the house there.
It's just a car. I think it's just a heavy engine diesel, I'd say. It's definitely just a car.
Aye, right, oh. Watch him on the road. See if he goes back to the village. I'll pull his gear out just in case, look.
Aye, okay, I'll keep an eye on him.
Fuck, the only fucking sense would have been in the fucking beds and they're coming checking fucking what. I've got her pulled out, you know. Which way they gone?
I'm not very sure. I think he's gone up the way.
If you've seen anything that's suspicious, you'll go back to his house and you'll phone the bells and the police. No, by the time they get anything done, we should have 20 minutes to get out of here, which is long enough for us to be away into somewhere else before they start. But I'm not 100% convinced that he's seen anything. So, I'll weigh up all the probabilities and I'll probably have another try here. And if I'm wrong, well, I'll end up with hot feet tonight. And the hot feet will be caused by run over fields and hedges and brambles and anything else that we had to run over. But we'll have a try anyway. Who eats the fish that we poach? Probably some of the ones that fish for them with fishing rods and can't catch it. I've often wondered that. I would put a little label on them. There's a few people eating fish that we've poached. I just know where it came from.
In the back end of the season, when there's a lot of fish, the bailiffs are on duty 24 hours a day. So your poachers are moving about a lot. Yeah? And you've only got half a dozen really serious poachers. You know, you're not talking about a lot of people, but the people that are doing it are very efficient.
When I first started, there was 1, 2, 3, there was 4 bailiffs. At peak times on that river now, there'll be maybe 30 full-time bailiffs, and plus as many are getting gillies that are part-time and gamekeepers that help them. Oh, it's definitely getting harder. It's not getting any easier. The difference between the bailiffs and the police, it's got something that the bailiffs have. An ordinary bailiff has more power than an ordinary constable. They've got rights of search and entry. Well, entry to search, stopping vehicles, and you've got a bunch of individuals driving about the countryside at night with handcuffs and truncheons. It's a weird setup. They say they're not a private army or a private police force, but if they know, they're the neatest thing that I've ever seen to it. There's damn all here. Fishing. That's a place like Ironmouth especially. Take a fishing a bit from Ironmouth, there's nothing left. And the EC's making it hard enough for them as it is. The quotas and restrictions. And now, the likes of small boats that we work, the salmon was a major part of keeping the boat viable. If we didn't if we didn't poach salmon, I couldn't keep that boat as a paying concern. That's as simple as that. As far as the EEC and the fishing industry is concerned, it just doesn't make sense. What they're doing to the fishing industry is a complete and total disgrace. They should never ever be allowed to do what they're doing. Forcing boats off, they're going to force people out of business, they're going to force people out of social security. The taxman wanted 35,000 plus interest for illegal money made from illegal salmon fishing. They came down to the house because they thought the house belonged to me, but it didn't, so they couldn't take that off her. And they tried to get the boat, but the boat belongs to my father, so they couldn't get that. And in the end, it got to the stage they were coming. They were at the door every second day, demanding money. So the only thing I could do was just went bankrupt. They don't tax anybody else. You don't tax housebreakers. They don't tax bloody armed robbers. So why the hell should they tax someone that fishes for salmon illegally? No. There's very little to say about it now. It's all and done. They've done their worst and they've got nothing. As far as I'm concerned, that's it. I have to do it as far as they're concerned, but never mind. The whole thing's getting ridiculous. Maybe it would be better if there was no salmon left at all. And then they could have fuck all left to fight about it.